Aleppo is being largely ignored by mainstream media outlets, and their focus has been shifted to the Iraqi city of Mosul, where a U.S.-backed military operation to liberate it from ISIL is in full swing and is already being branded a success.
We heard from the Prime Minister this morning. He said things were going faster than it's expected.
So they are making significant progress.
ISIS is really about to receive a body blow.
However, humanitarian organizations are concerned. According to the UN, up to 1.5 million civilians are now trapped in Mosul. It's feared that ISIL will use them as human shields and that they will get caught up in the fighting. The UN says the operation to liberate the city could lead to a humanitarian catastrophe, creating up to 1 million refugees.
Offensive to retake Mosul could produce a humanitarian catastrophe, resulting in one of the largest man-made displacement crises in recent years.
And here are some of the latest pictures of the outskirts of Mosul obtained by our Rappli video news agency. The blackened skies are caused by burning oil and sulfur factories targeted by ISIL fighters as they fled in a bid to create smoke screens. It's feared the tactic could lead to an environmental disaster with dozens of facilities already ablaze. And when it comes to Washington and the mainstream media's approach to wars in Syria and Iraq, things are not always as they seem.
We've just learned about double standards in Syria. Surprised? Don't be. It's an old trick. Misdirection, a sleight of hands, just like Houdini. It's real easy. Say one thing, but do something completely different. Let me teach you. Just follow my hand.
Al-Nusra, which is Al-Qaeda.
So we say Al-Nusra are terrorists. We even admit that they are Al-Qaeda. But then we later say we are not targeting Al-Nusra because the target is different. It's Daesh. What the heck? Is there really a difference between the two?
There hasn't been any specific action against Nusra, is that right? Military action.
No, but I'd have to double check. I just can't definitively say that.
So you don't want to close a prison. You want to keep it open. But what do? You promise that you'll close it.
We're going to lead by shutting down Guantanamo.
But once you got what you need, you keep it open. Then again, you always have those dirty Republicans to blame, who of course got in the way of closing Guantanamo. We always hear from almost any major politician out of Washington, including the president, of course, that the U.S. is going to pull its troops out of Iraq.
As promised, the rest of our troops in Iraq will come home by the end of the year.
But look over to the right. And you guessed it, the complete opposite happens. Remember when we heard how the U.S. was going to stop the violence in Libya, the no-fly zone?
We strongly condemn the use of violence in Libya.
But here's what happened right after.
We came, we saw, he died.
So you say that you condemn the actions of your allies as they bomb civilians and children.
We expect a fair, thorough, and transparent investigation. As we've said in the past, when there have been incidents of civilian casualties in Yemen as a result of Saudi-led operations, we would expect the same thing here.
But then what do? You sell them some weapons. Like a lot of weapons.
We have a strong defense relationship with Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is under attack.
This is it, ladies and gents. Magic. An old life hack called double standards, always at play with certain players of the game. I'm Miguel Francis Santiago, over and out.